All right, welcome back. Happy Saturday, everyone. All right, so we've got Monica Poe here, and thank you for joining me. How are things going?
Things are going really, really well. I think there's a big improvement from our crash back in the 2007 era. So yeah, I'm excited. The industry's doing really well.
It sounds like things have picked up for everybody kind of across the board, and I know you've been really swamped lately. What do you think the change was?
I think the change has been that the guidelines are now what they should have been. I think that the people that are trying to apply for home loans have prepared and have been educated. You know, it's all about preparation and buying the house the right way.
And talking about preparation and being prepared and education, let's talk a little about this homebuyer class that you're teaching.
Yeah, the homebuyer class is through Washington State Finance Housing Commission, and basically it's a program where you have a client that has good credit and good job experience and kind of everything in the box that they need to buy a house except for the down payment. It comes into play and it's not even for just first-time buyers. If someone wants to buy a house but doesn't have their down payment and they make less than the income guideline, then they can buy a house, zero down virtually.
It's an amazing program, and I think are the limitations at under 97,000? I think so. If anyone out there is listening and they're making under 97,000, reach out to Monica and sign up for this class. Her and I will be teaching it March 2nd, right?
March 2nd, Sunday, yeah, at the Windermere in Bonnie Lake, when we're going to be there from 9:30 to 2:30. So please feel free to register. You can check out. You can email me. It's mpoe@mortgagelx.com. And or you can get a hold of Tyler through the station.
Perfect. And then the program, it's up to 4% of your down payment. Is that right?
Yeah, they actually give you a second mortgage that is a 0% interest. You don't have to pay on it until you refinance your house or sell it. So it's basically a silent second, 0%. Your mortgage insurance is nominal. It's very low compared to there's two programs, FHA or conventional. Both of them, you know, if you have a credit score of 640 or above, we can usually give that person a hand in helping them get their home loan.
What a program. I mean, it's like free money.
It really, really is. It's been a very big part of my business so far this year.
Excellent. And you've been in the business for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
I've been in the business about 18 years. I started out back in the day in 1994 when you ordered your credit reports on a typewriter and received them in the mail. So I started at the bottom. I've owned my own mortgage company a time or two and took a break, about a year off, and now I'm just so excited to be back in the business. It's a lot of fun.
I can just see that energy. What do you think, what's one thing you tell buyers right now they're on the fence?
I tell them that it's a really good time to buy right now. There's some excellent deals out there. The realtors that are in the business now are the ones that are savvy and smart and can really help their clients and get the best deal that they can find.
What kind of programs, obviously we talked about the Home Advantage program, but are you doing a lot of FHA, conventional, VA? I mean, what are you seeing? Is it all across the board?
I'm seeing everything, which is so exciting. Borrowers just seem to be really, really savvy before they even call me. Most of my applications, folks already know that they have to have their ducks in a row. They have to have good credit. They have to have a little bit of money in the bank. Not necessarily for a down payment because we have these programs, but to have a little bit of reserves in case of emergency. Just much smarter, savvier buyers that are looking out there.
Kind of the sun after the storm. You know, we talked about 07 with all the bad things that went on, but now it's really created more regulations, which isn't the most fun for everybody, but it's really doing the trick. People are getting more educated and going from there.
Absolutely. I'm so glad. You know, it was a rough go. I'm not going to lie. That was a tough time in 07 when things started to crash, 08, the aftermath, the different industries that it affected, not just the mortgage and real estate industries, but it tended to affect everybody in an aspect, you know, the construction companies to retail, you name it.
Yeah.
So no, this is really, like you said, the sunshine after the storm.
There's such a big effect on real estate. If it's booming, you know, jobs are getting created. There's so many hands that are kind of involved with that. So with that success, like we're seeing lately, it's good. It's really good.
It's really good. And I'm so excited that the lenders that are left in the business and the realtors that are left in the business really are the troopers and the ones that are seasoned and doing an excellent job. You know, there was a time when anyone could be a lender or a real estate agent, and now because of those tight guidelines, we're all forced to have that, you know, essential education and make sure that we're providing the best service we can for our customers.
We've kind of got a wide spread of listeners on the show. Can you tell us a little bit, because we're reaching that military audience?
Oh yeah,
Can
my
you tell
favorite.
us? Yeah, that's such a good loan. Tell us about it.
VA is my favorite loan. It's the Veterans Administration. If you've got a VA benefit and you're listening to this, you've got a really good option to buy a house with zero down. The interest rates are awesome. There's no mortgage insurance. There is an upfront funding fee, but it's financed in your loan. A VA loan is just smooth. They're really, really good. And if you have any questions on them, please call me. Those are my fave.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
But still a lot of FHA buyers too, right? The lower down payment programs?
Yep, we do have a lot of 3.5%, which is the FHA loan. It's Federal Housing Administration. It does have mortgage insurance, and they did hike that up a little bit because of all the turbulence we went through. That's why I try to steer them over to the Home Advantage if I can, just because it saves them a ton of money a month, you know, the mortgage insurance portion. But it is there, and it's still a good program.
And then how about investors right now? What are you seeing for investors wanting to purchase? Are you seeing a lot of them out there? Is it a time for them to swoop up rentals? Or
I think it's a really good time because it's still a rental market out there. A lot of people are recovering from what happened. You know, the back to work program for FHA, for example. A lot of people lost their jobs during the 07, 08 crash. People are trying to rebuild. So there's a lot of people out there that can't buy yet that need to rent. So those investors out there, you got a good chance of keeping your homes rented.
Let's talk more about that. So we've got that back to work program. I really think that we're going to have a swing of buyers that are going to be coming back from having a short sale or foreclosure, 5 to 7 years ago. They're going to come back to the market. Are you seeing them enter the market yet?
Yeah, we're just starting to see that happen. A lot of folks are scared to come talk to a lender right now because they don't know if they can qualify, or they just think, gosh, I went through so much, I don't know if it's my time. Do it. Go in and check it out. Call your lender, call me, call whoever you want to, and investigate that, because there's a lot of programs out there that will allow you, for circumstances that you went through in 07, lost your job, or what may have happened. It's called circumstances that you can explain, and a lot of times you can still buy a house. The back to work program is because of that. If your income dropped 20% or less in 07, 08, if you've established yourself for 12 months now, you can qualify for the FHA purchase.
So if it dropped 20%, and this might have happened 07, 08, or 09, they can get back and buy again?
Yep, absolutely.
That's such a good program, because
Yeah.
that is a big part of the buying pool.
It really is. It's been a rough haul for so many people out there, but I truly believe that things are getting better all the way around.
That's what I like to hear, Monica.
Yeah.
That's good. Everyone always reports the bad news, so it's always good to hear the good news, right?
I'm kind of the optimist, that's for sure. I've been that way since I was young, so, and even through the hard times, you got to keep your chin up and keep on rolling.
What do you think about? Everyone always asks, condos, townhomes, residential homes. What are your thoughts on buying condos? Is that a good way to go?
There are benefits to it for those folks that don't want the high maintenance of yard work and etc. But you have to keep in mind those dues. Those HOA dues can really affect your debt ratio. And you're more of an expert at me. When I look at these listings and I see a condominium for, say, $100,000, your payment is great, the principal and interest. Your taxes even aren't so bad. But gosh, those HOA dues can run you $200 to $300, and that's a lot of money right there.
And it just scares me because they're not capped.
Yeah, they're they can be very risky to me too. My daughter's at the age where she's looking to either buy a home or a condo, and it's hard to say which one's the better deal for her. Those HOADs can get you. I know they cover the landscaping or, the water or whatever all they cover, but gosh, you can buy a single family residence for a lot of times the same payment.
And it's really smart to do the background research and get the information on what's happened at the last homeowners meetings, and is there any upcoming assessments? How are the reserves? If the reserves are bad or there's assessments coming up, that's a whole can of worms, so you got to look out for that.
Oh yeah, and how about find out if that dog's barking upstairs? See if there's any complaints near the unit you're looking for.
I like
just
that.
An idea, yeah.
On that note, take a look at the house twice, once in the morning, one in the afternoon.
Oh yes, especially on a condo, you want to hear your neighbors upstairs and down, that's for sure. But don't let me deter you from that, because I'm sure there's lots of benefits to it, especially if you work a lot, you travel a lot, you just need a place to land. Absolutely.
And I know no one has a crystal ball, but what do you see for the second half of the year with interest rates? Are they going to be rising? I'm sure you get this question all day long.
I get this question a lot, and from what I'm understanding, and I do a lot of research on this, I'm seeing that from what I'm seeing is there's not a much of a increase in the economy that they were hoping for, so they're going to keep rates fairly similar to what they are today, which is still in the low fours. That's an amazing rate.
So you just kind of judge by what's going on in the economy and how that is employment too, right? And
yep. You want to factor it on everything. And yes, there's been some improvements, and that's really good. But I don't think that economists feel that that's so good that they want to raise rates yet. If they raise rates, that could change things for us. So I'm really hoping that they leave things the way they are right now, and we can just have a killer year.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. Ladies and gentlemen, I got Monica with me. We just got time for one more question. So what do you think So we talked about what the future's going to bring, kind of.
My
And you
crystal ball.
got exact opinion there from Monica, which I appreciate. And we've talked about what to let buyers know. How about the problem with parents that still have their kids at home that are, you know, it's an astronomical number. We talked about it last week. We talked about it the week before. How do we get these people that are grown adults still living at home to enter the market? I mean, what kind of advice can we give them?
I think it's up to us parents a lot of times to say, you know what, you guys, check it out to see if you qualify. Buying a house versus renting is obviously your first choice. You want to have your kids look at doing that. I'm at the age now where a lot of my peers have kids around the mid-20s or early 20s. Absolutely, if they're in their job 2 years and their credit's pretty decent and maybe they just don't have their down payment, check it out. There's a lot of programs out there, especially this Home Advantage program through the Washington State Housing Finance Commission. And these classes that you and I are teaching together, the home buyers classes, as a parent, why don't you encourage your kids to go take that class? Check it out. It's a lot of good information on buying a home.
Help them print off those pay stubs and bank statements and last 2 years' tax returns and get ready.
Absolutely. And then you as a parent can feel like, you know, you did something for your child that's really, really cool. You're helping them invest in their future.
I love Monica. One thing about you I'm excited about working with you is the education thing and just the genuine care that you have for buyers. It's just amazing. You can just see it, and I love it.
Aw, thank you, Tyler. You know, I do love my job, and I love what I do. And I was just meeting with a client before I came here today, and they were amazing, had all their ducks in a row and were so great. And I told them, you know, their jobs were pretty stressful, and I was doing their loan application, and I thought to myself, most of my job is happy. So
Yeah.
my endings, usually they're buying a house and happy at the end, so I'm lucky.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us, Monica. I really appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
Okay, we'll hope to talk to you soon.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Clay 1180 AM.